These are the 6 ways I use AI to make my coaching business more efficient. Number 1, I use it as a note taker. So I use fireflies.ai to take notes from all of my meetings. It saves me having to make notes while I'm speaking with people, which I have done for many, many years. And I still do it for really important things, but it's massively comforting to know that the AI is doing the heavy lifting. So far, I've found the note-taking to be pretty flawless, to be honest. It's really, really good. And I also I've got the transcripts there, so I can always go back to specific details of what's being said, should I need them, which to be honest is hardly ever. Number 2, I use it to transcribe the calls. So creating a transcript of what's taking place on the calls is incredibly useful, because that becomes the raw material for every other way that you can use AI. So there's not really much to say about that other than use AI to make the transcription, because the third way I use it is I use it to summarize meetings, capture the key points, and also capture the key actions. So that's incredibly useful because it saves you having to figure it out. You can also automate it so that it just automatically creates, draft emails that you can send to people. And the fourth way that I use it is on my coaching calls, because of course, as a coach, you've got several different types of calls. You might be doing sales calls, you might be doing one-to-one coaching calls or group calls. They're the 3 that I do most anyway. So depending on which one of those 3 calls I'm in, I use AI to create the follow-up email. So for example, let's say I've done a coaching call with somebody, one-to-one coaching, and what I want to do is I want to summarize what we've discussed, but I also want to give them clear actions that they need to follow before our next call. And again, the AI can do that. So I just make sure that I'm explicit during the call on what those next actions are to make it easy for the AI later. You see what I mean? Once you know the capabilities of AI, you start conducting your calls with the AI in mind, which just makes the whole system work better. So for example, let me give you a specific example. One of my clients that I was speaking with yesterday, I had a call with him. We covered lots and lots of ground. He's a new client. We covered lots of ground. We needed to summarize where he was currently at, define his desired outcome, where he wants to get to, summarize the obstacles to getting there, because that's the raw material for achieving the things that we need, and then give him a 12-month roadmap. So I had the AI generate all of that for me based on our phone call, and then create a draft email with the guy's email address in there, everything done. All I need to do is read through it and hit send. Now, if I had to draft that, man, that would take a lot of time, because I'm a perfectionist about writing. And I know from experience, if I had to write 1,000-word email to one of my clients, that's probably 45 minutes or so for me. Maybe you're faster than me. That's how long it would take me to do it. So having the AI do all of that, and then I only need a 5 or 10 minute read through, add my extra 10% on top, my interpretation, if there's anything that's been missed or so on. That is a huge time saver when you extrapolate that over all of your clients. The other way that I use that is for follow-ups for sales calls. So for example, if I've done a sales call with somebody and they give you the classic, I need to think about it, and they go away, which is fine. So that's what a lot of people do. That's okay. I'll use the AI. I have a custom GPT set up which understands my selling style and values and so on, and I'll have that generate a sales follow-up which will specifically mention some of the problems that those clients are having, and it ties it back specifically to something inside my program that addresses that problem. So it's basically like a tailored sales pitch follow-up essentially. But again, if I had to do that, if you're doing lots of sales calls, it's hard to remember everything you've spoken about, So I just have the AI do all of that stuff. And then I have a master document for each client that the AI updates on an ongoing basis. And what that's used for is, when somebody originally joins, they have a current reality, they have a desired outcome of where they want to get to, but that changes over time. The actions that are going to move them towards where they want. Of course, that needs to be modified as those actions are taken and tasks are achieved. You then need to tweak that and update it for where it's at. So I just have the AI do all of that. I just find that much, much easier than me having to do it and remember it all. All of this is done using Zapier integrations. and also make.com. And I just hired somebody to do it all for me. I was going to do it myself, but then once I got in there and saw all the variables in Make, I was like, nah, I'm not going down this road. I hate all that technology stuff. Where I like to be is here, outside, in nature. That's where I want to be. I don't want to be stuck looking at parameters and fields and custom values and all of that crap. So I just hired somebody to do it for me. But honestly, it's been an enormous time saver. And it's just super, super useful for me. It's one of those tools where I wasn't really sure if I needed it to begin with, but now I'm at a point where I couldn't do without it. It's so useful. Like, I've just got it dialed in so well. I think the main thing is getting the transcriptions done. And I think once you have the transcriptions, that then becomes the raw material for everything else that comes after it. So I hope that's given you some food for thought. I know there's people out there doing super, super complicated, mega advanced AI stuff. I know there's miles more ways I could be using this incredible technology. But for me, at the moment, I'm just using it to brute force, save me time. And that's pretty much it. There's loads of other fancy stuff I want to do with AI in the future, but this feels like a good, I don't know, base camp, you know, a good version 1 implementation of AI for my coaching business. Let me know in the comments how you're using AI. Is there anything obvious that I've missed out here for a coaching business, you know, where you're working deeply with people? I do want to learn more about this stuff, so please let me know in the comments if there's anything obvious that I've missed out there. If you are interested in one-to-one coaching with me, please head over to my website, boldfreedom.com, where I will personally coach you. I hope you've enjoyed this video. There's much more coming. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.